Does the thought of light in your video fill you with anxiety? Like, you know how important lighting is, right? But it seems way too complicated to even know where to start. Just know I see you, but I want you to know that anybody can become competent or even really good at lighting their videos. It's all about building confidence and having fun. So in today's video, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Welcome to How to Light Yourself with Confidence, Part 1. Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Denzel. I'm a filmmaker and content creator. And last year while I was creating content, I realized just how many people struggled lighting their videos. Some even avoided lighting their videos altogether because they thought it was too complicated or too expensive. So today, we're gonna take the pressure off. We're gonna jump in, get the basics down and have some fun, man. Let's go. So part 1 is all about starting simple. Now, at the beginning of your journey, you may only have access to one light, which is pretty normal. And it's actually a blessing in disguise because it's best to master that one light before moving on anyway. Now, we want this to be our main light source, also known as our key light. Today, my key light is the Nanlite FS300C with this large parabolic softbox. And let me explain why. Let's pull up an example. Using a large softbox with a diffuser is going to allow us to soften the light. Now, soft lighting is going to result in a much more smooth and gradual shadow roll-off. And in turn, your subject's going to appear a lot more flattering. However, if we use a smaller light source with no diffusion, for example, then the shadows are going to appear a lot more harsh and quite dramatic. And trust me, this isn't always a bad thing, it just depends on the look you're going for. But today we're just gonna focus on soft lighting, which is much more common in settings like this, you know, talking headshots, interviews, etc. Now, before I start, you may be wondering what this net is doing in front of my light, and you probably have seen it a bunch of times, but never actually knew what it was for. So it's actually called a honeycomb grid, and the purpose is to focus the light on a specific area and avoid light spill. For example, without this grid, a lot of the light would just spill over into the background and other areas of the shot. But by using this grid, we proactively avoid this. We can cover this more in a future video. Without further ado, let's jump straight in and start setting up those lights. Light, because we're using one. Let's go. First up, let's talk about positioning. Simply placing a light in different positions can set the entire tone and mood of your video from the very jump. So let's go over some of these techniques using our one light. Technique number 1 is called Rembrandt Lighting, and 90% of the time, my key light for my talkie headshots will be here between 45 and 55 degrees and placed at a bit higher than my head. And this creates this really nice shadow roll off, which gives our image so much depth. And this is a very popular technique made famous by the legendary Dutch painter who goes by the same name, Rembrandt. And the way you identify this is by a triangle that it creates underneath the eye on the shadow side. Technique number 2 is called flat lighting, and this is the easiest setup as the light is placed directly in front of us, and what it's doing is creating this even and clean looking image. And you may have noticed it's removed the shadows from the side of my face, which is pretty cool. And if you're aiming for a bright and uplifting vibe, then you should give this one a shot. Let's jump back into our drama bag for technique number 3, which is called split lighting. Now, we achieve this by placing our key light 90 degrees either side of our subject, and it results in half our face being covered in the shadows and half our face remaining lit. And this might just be one of the most dramatic looks we can achieve with a single light source. Now, great for captivating an audience, showcasing tension, or even a split personality. And I mean, if that's what you're into, give it a shot. So the last position we're going to cover today is called the reverse key. Now, this is interesting because unlike the other shots, we're also going to move the camera as well as the light. Okay, now the light now shifts behind us as we position the camera over to the shadow side. Now, I love using this technique, especially for close-up to really capture emotion, and I've used it quite a bit for interviews as well as a second cam shot. While we're on the topic of positioning, it's not only where your light is placed that matters, your positioning is just as important. Now, try to get into the habit of leaving room behind you and not filming yourself like right up against the wall. Not only will this help with unwanted shadows, but it creates a level of depth in your shot that you just otherwise wouldn't have. And I understand some people are limited by the space that they're filming in, and if that's the case, the best thing to do is film into the corner of a room. That's where you find the most space. Quick side note, if you're enjoying this video and you want to improve your lighting setup going forward, I've created a lighting guide that you can reference again and again. Whether you're filming yourself or a client, this will speed up your workflow and allow you to feel more confident in front or behind the camera. I've dropped the link in the description. Now back to the video. So these 4 lighting techniques are a great way to start experimenting, as you only need one light and the camera. But what happens if you don't have a softbox to help you diffuse the light? Well, in that case, you can get creative. You can use a white sheet, the wall, or even a bounce board to still help you achieve soft lighting. Now with the white sheet, you can simply place it in front of the light and it will diffuse. And remember, the larger the light source, the softer the light. Now with the bounce board or the wall, it's exactly what it sounds like. Instead of putting the harsh light directly at ourselves, we bounce it off a surface and it softens before it gets back to us. Bear in mind though, if you're bouncing it off a wall, the color of the wall matters. So a white wall works best here if you're looking for a clean and neutral looking light source. Practice makes improvement. Now it goes without saying that experimentation is the fastest way to improve your lighting, because you can have all the tips, tricks, tutorials, but some things just need to be discovered through trial and error. Now if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you for rocking with me, and I hope these tips allow you to feel much more confident when it comes to lighting your videos, even if you're only using one light. Remember, it's a gradual process, and I think it's easier to learn by starting simple and then increasing the complexity as we go on. If you found this video helpful, I'd love for you to hit that like and subscribe as we continue to grow this channel. And let me know which step you like the most and the one you're most likely to try. Equally, if there's anything you struggle with, drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And I will see you, I will see you in the next one. Peace and love every single time. Dens.